So you have a hard time asking for help. And I know why you have a hard time asking for help, because asking for help, you don't want to seem like a burden. You don't want to seem like a bother. You don't want any shame associated with you asking for help. But just because you ask for help, that doesn't make you helpless. And how does that make sense? Like, okay, I asked for help, I seem helpless. But think about it. Just because you ask for help, it doesn't make you helpless. In this video, I will be breaking down specifically for you how you can go about asking for help without feeling helpless. So this thought came to me because I was having a conversation just with a couple of my clients, with them having issues specifically with asking for help. And there's a lot of common themes when it comes to asking for help, because we don't want to feel like a burden, we don't want to feel shame, we don't want to feel like we're a bother. Our pride may get in the way of us asking for help. But you have to recognize and realize in this life, we're gonna need help at some point in time. We didn't even come on this earth by ourselves. We weren't even born without the assistance of others. All right, so let me break down a couple of reasons why it's hard for you to ask for help. So the first issue is you're too self-reliant. You have this mentality like, I don't need nobody, I can do it by myself. You're Mr. or Mrs. Independent, like you don't need anybody. You don't feel like you need anybody. And the crazy thing with this is we do live in a society that does promote self-reliance. Like if you can do it by yourself, you can get out the mud, if you can grind and not need anybody else's help, you good, you golden. You are that guy, you are that girl. You know what I mean? Like you are it. You are what everybody tries to be. Like your goals. You are goals because you did it by yourself. You're self-reliant. But the flip side of that is when you're too self-reliant, you see asking for help as a sign of weakness. I'm gonna tell you right now, asking for help is not a sign of weakness, because it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of humility. It takes a sense of putting aside what you feel you can do by yourself in order for you to ask for help. So that self-reliant mentality, it gotta go. It has to go when it comes to asking for help. And I want you guys to hear me when I say this, and I'll guarantee you this. Anybody who's been successful or anybody who presents themselves as self-made or I've done it by myself, that is a lie. And I know with social media and like, the way we intake information, we see people living their lives like, okay, this person, did it by themselves. No, they didn't. They didn't. More than likely, there's a support system that is helping them reach their goals, but they're the face of the success. There's no way people are successful without having a source of mentorship, guidance, coaching, accountability, all those things. You feel me? Like there's no way that people really claim their success strictly on them being self-reliant. So the next thing is the fear of judgment. Jeez, let's talk about this for a minute. Let's really talk about this for a minute, because this is the realest feeling when it comes to asking for help. Is we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be judged. Let me put this into context. Have you ever asked somebody for some money, or somebody asked you for some money? Now, whether if you believe it or not, there's still going to be a form of judgment from either you giving the person the money, like, well, they can't take care of their bills. They're not financially sound. They're lazy. They're broke. They're really like bumming it. You know what I mean? That may be the judgment you get from giving the money. And again, if you believe it or not, if you're receiving the money, you put judgment on yourself. There's a lot of judgment on yourself. And this is where the issue is, where we talk about asking for help, because it's not about what other people are judging you on when you're asking for help. It's more about how are you feeling about receiving the help, right? So there's judgment either way. Judgment is going to happen. You can't control the judgment. People have their own perceptions. People have their own thoughts about you. And the funny thing is, you don't even have to ask for help for somebody to judge you. People are going to judge you either way. You know what I mean? So like, if you're in a position of needing assistance, it doesn't necessarily have to be money, but it can be anything, mentorship, guidance, whatever it is. You don't have to anchor yourself in judgment because you have a difficult time asking for help. Don't let judgment hold you back. You know what I mean? You need the help that you need regardless. You need the help. So it's either you don't get judged, which you're probably getting judged anyway, or you might as well get something out of it if you are being judged. You don't want to block your blessings. Closed mouths don't get fed. when you don't ask for help. So don't let that judgment hold you back. Ask for it. The worst thing that can happen when you're asking for help, the worst thing that can happen when you ask for help, and I want you to take note of this right here. The worst thing that's going to happen when you're asking for help is somebody saying no. That's the worst thing that's going to happen when you're asking for help, is somebody's going to say no. And if that's the worst consequence ever, is somebody saying no to your request, that's a 50-50 chance they're saying yes to them saying no. But when it's a guaranteed no is when you don't use your words. You don't ask for help. It's a guaranteed no. You're not going to get no help anywhere if you don't ask for help. That's just the facts. Closed mouths don't get fed. That's just the facts. So another reason is you've asked for help before, right? And it didn't work out. You've asked people to assist you. You asked people to help you. You didn't get the help that you deserve. So now what that does is program in your brain that people are going to tell you no when you ask for help. But how you get out of that mentality is you can't base your current situation based on past situations. You feel me? You can't base your needs now based on what the needs may have been in the past. You feel me? But you have to think about it this way too. You may have been asking the wrong people for help, and now that you have a record of not being helped, you're not going to start asking the right people for help. Be mindful about who you ask for help as well too, because not everybody is in a position to help you. There might be other entities like, outside of family and friends that'll help you, right? Let's use this for example. If you're in need of relieving stress, you're feeling anxious, you've been feeling depressed, you haven't been feeling yourself, you feel me? And you go to your family and friends asking for help and wanting to talk to them, they may not have the capability or the insight to know how to help you. And now how that may be interpreted is, nobody can help me. Nobody can help me. When in actuality, your friends and your family probably was the best people to go to seek help for that situation. You probably need to see a therapist, somebody that is professionally trained to really help you and assist you. The last thing I want to cover and give you insight on is your own perceived self-worth is holding you back from asking for help. Simply put, your pride's getting in the way. Plain and simple, your pride's getting in the way. Your self-perception of yourself, you see yourself as highly, you see yourself as dominant, you see yourself as being over other people, that it's hard for you to stoop down just a bit to ask for help. You don't want to seem like you are this high and mighty person. Your self-perception is way too high. It's probably not even real. It's probably just in your head that you're so high and mighty, when in actuality, you probably may not be as high and mighty as you thought you was, especially when it comes to asking for help. And you pride yourself in problem solving, holding yourself accountable, holding other people accountable. So like you have this perception of yourself that I don't need help. But in actuality, that's not true. You're going to need some form of help if you haven't already at some point in time in your life. That's it for this video. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for tapping in with me. Y'all take care. Peace.